Well, good evening and welcome. You are watching Ask Profit on NDTV Profit and I'm Nupur Talwar Suri. Joining me in the studio is my co-host.
Yes, I'm Himakshi Bahugda and together we will be taking up all your queries. Don't forget to call us on the numbers on your screens that are flashing right now. Please reach out to us on WhatsApp as well. Both the numbers you can see currently on your screens. So,
well, we'd like to remind our guests that this is a call-in show and we'd love to hear from all of you. So if you've got any queries, do call in. You can also WhatsApp us. We're going to be flashing those numbers again for our viewers on the screens. Just to introduce our guests this evening, we've got Vikas Jain. He is the Head of Research of Reliance Securities. He's joining us on the broadcast. Good evening. And also joining us right now is Manish Chaudhary. He's the Head of Research for StockSpot. Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you very much for being with us on Ask Profit. All right, so let's go ahead with the first one. We've got a query that's come in from Paul. He's writing to us from Kerala and he says he's got about 1,250 shares of Coal India. He's bought them at a rate of 434 rupees a piece. He wants to know whether he should be holding or selling. Now, Coal India, of course, has corrected about 30% from 52-week highs. Currently, the position that Paul is holding is in the loss. Let's go across right now on this one, I think to Vikas first. What's your sense, Vikas? He's asking, should he hold or sell?
Well, if you look at, no doubt, the stock structure has turned pretty weak and it has itself corrected from the highs of around 540 odd levels. So I believe the stock is now it's near to its long-term averages, almost 100-week average placed near to 370 odd levels. So risk-reward ratio is favorable. So we should continue to hold on to the stock. Most probably, if you look at the post starts, then we would get back his purchase price within a span of 3 to 4 months. So he can add on if he wishes to do so, or he can continue to hold on to his existing quantity.
all right. We are also getting one more query from Vishaka Patnam. He's writing to us. So Naveen is saying that he's bought 810 shares of Zomato at a price of 110 rupees and he's asking for a long-term view. So Zomato's performance has been great in the recent times. It's a very trending stock and it has been recently included in the Sensex. So Manish, how do you see Zomato performing in the long term?
I think the guest has bought the stock at around 110 levels. So in the last 1 year, the stock has run up almost 3 times from about 100 to almost 300. At this point in time, I think most of the positives are related to the food delivery and especially the Blinkit business are seemingly priced in. So from a longer term perspective, I would still say a hold to the stock. But if someone wants to enter fresh, I would suggest to wait for dips to enter into this stock. The fundamentals from a longer term perspective still looks intact and the company has moved into the positive territory of profitability as well. Yeah.
All right, just a quick reminder to our viewers, we are taking your calls live, so do feel free to call us on the numbers that are flashing on your screens right now. And also, of course, we will be taking up queries from WhatsApp, but do pick up that phone. Let's go ahead and take another query that's coming in from Alfred. He's writing to us from Mysore and his question is about the Canara Bank. He's holding about 2,300 shares that he's bought at 105.39 rupees. He's looking for a short-term 6-month view. Let's go ahead with this one, Vikas. What's your sense on Canara Bank? The viewer has written to us for a 6-month view.
Yeah, if you look at, no doubt, the PSU banking space has been underperforming over the last 2 months. And we have seen some amount of good sell-off from the highs of around 115, 117 levels, specifically in terms of Canara Bank. Post stock split, the stock tried to manage some amount of regains and reglow for a up move, but again, it is fallen through. Now, if we believe the stock has good support near to 95, 97 odd levels, so we can continue to hold on to 95 because 95 is the double bottom what it has achieved. So if 95 has been breached, then it would exit. Otherwise, you can continue to hold for an up move of near to 108 to 109.
All right. We're also getting one more query from Manoj. He's writing to us from Rourkela. He says that he's purchased 1,500 shares of Airon at 317 rupees. He also has an overall loss of 3 lakh rupees. So please suggest hold or sell. So Vikas, coming straight to you on this, what do you suggest, as the stock has been also corrected 40%, as I can see, from 52 weeks high?
So he has almost bought it at the 52-week price, what he has been suggesting for, near to 315, 317. And since then, the stock has seen a vertical amount of sell-off. So he would have, if it had bought it as a trading position, he would have triggered the stop loss much earlier. Now, nothing been left at this current juncture, so we can continue to wait for some amount of bounce. We can utilize the bounce once it happens near to those 245, 250 levels, which was we have witnessed a good amount of sell-off. So some bounce cannot be ruled out. So 240, 245 should be the exit price for him to exit the stock.
Okay, I think we've got a caller on the phone line right now. Zenith is calling in from Bengaluru. Hi Zenith, how are you doing this evening?
Very well, thank you. I hope everybody is fine as well.
Oh yes,
So
absolutely.
I have a quick clarification. I need to know what is the most optimum time to enter in Mazagon Dock shipbuilders. It has recently shown some correction as well. It is one of the best defense stock, I believe. So I'm just wondering what is the upside we expect in near term
And,
or long term as well.
And
Yeah.
Zenith, how many shares are you looking to buy at this point in time? And is this your favorite in the defense space?
No, this is gonna be my first one in defense. I usually avoid PSUs.
All right. Let's take it to both our guests. Manish, you want to go ahead first because he's looking for a long-term view and he wants a more fundamental view of what's happening to Mazagon Docks.
I think, yes, the stock has corrected from, I think, the highs of around 5,900 and it is currently around 4,650. So I think from a longer term perspective, the stock fundamentally looks good. The debt on books is negligible. The return ratios are fantastic. And the kind of order book the company has and the kind of government trust on the shipbuilding and the defense sector, I believe from here on, the execution of the order book would be a key trigger for the company to get re-rated going forward. So from a longer term perspective, I feel Mazagon Dock should be a hold. Yeah.
All right, Vikas, what's your sense? How are the charts looking?
Stock is facing some amount of time correction. If you look at it, has been just consolidating between these 4450 to 5000 levels over the past few weeks. Some pullback came in through. Now again it has retraced back from those highs of 4850. So 4450 should be the stop loss level if he wishes to buy. So Mr. Zenith, if you want to buy it for short term basis, keep a stop of around 4450.
Right. So we're also getting one more WhatsApp query from Mumbai. Shabir is saying that he's bought 100 shares of Vishal Mega Mart at 78 rupees. So whether he should hold or book profit. So Vishal Mega Mart is recently listed IPO. So let me just directly go to fundamental analyst Manish. How do you gauge Vishal Mega Mart's performance from a long-term perspective?
I think from a longer term perspective, I feel it's a hold because the company is more into the affordable kind of retailing and its focus is on tier 2, tier 3 cities mainly. The company also has expansion plan into going into more into tier 4 as well. So I feel Vishal Mega Mart is a hold for me. But yeah, on the valuation front, I think there is some discomfort. But yes, with the kind of runway which the company has in the long term, I think it's a hold.
Okay. Before I take up the next query, which is coming to us from Varanasi, I'd like our viewers to just note down the numbers that we are flashing on the screens. We are taking your calls live and our guests are of course taking up all your questions on how you should be investing. The next one coming up from Varanasi, it's a question that's coming from Utkarsh. He wants to know that he has about 1,000 shares of the Union Bank of India. He bought them at 140 rupees a piece. He's looking for a 6-month view on this. Because what's your sense? He's bought it at 141,000 shares. He wants to know, should he hold?
We can continue to hold the stock because the stock is been holding its long-term averages. Look at it has seen some amount of multiple support near to its 100-week average and witnessing good amount of bounce. So we can continue to hold on to the stock. The stock is also added into the junior Nifty basket. So some amount of institutional buying through the ETF route could also happen through. So we can continue with a view of 135, 137 over the next 3 to 4 months.
Okay. So we are getting one more query from Kerala. Sumesh is writing to us and saying that he has bought 100 shares of LIC at 1,000 rupees a piece. So whether he should hold or sell and asking for a long-term view. So LIC has corrected nearly 30% from 52 weeks high, as I can see right now. And GST Council has also deferred the decision on lowering tax on health and life insurance premiums. So Manish, how is the insurance industry looking and will LIC be outperforming going forward?
I think the headroom for growth in the insurance sector is very high with the kind of penetration for insurance products in India. But somehow the overall insurance space is still not the right time to invest. I think there are lots of uncertainties related to the GST angle to the whole story of insurance at this point in time. I feel it is better to avoid LIC at this point in time and look for some clarity more on the insurance sector before committing from a longer term perspective. So my view is, I think it's a avoid at this point in time.
Any other stocks that you recommend in that space?
I think in that space, the top stock that comes on my mind is HDFC Life, because I think the kind of market share it is gaining continuously. I feel this looks much better than LIC from a longer term perspective.
Okay, fair point. Let's now, in fact, bring in a caller. Hi, Naresh. Are you there on the phone line with us? I think you're calling in from Mumbai.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Naresh? And what is it that we can help you with?
Yeah, good evening, everyone, ma'am. I am holding NTPC around 700. It is averaged out, and then now the average price is 410. This one is for around 3 to 5 years. Mm-hmm. So what is should I continue to just hold it or can I average it out?
And when did you buy this? When did you buy this?
It's last 6 months I am buying it. Mm-hmm. So I averaged it out again, the quantity went to 700. Now the average cost is around 410. It's for a long 3 to 5 years. So should I just hold it or should I can again add on that?
Okay. Vikas, you want to take that one and then we'll go across to Manish as well.
Look at, no doubt, as we along with the whole PSU basket, NTPC has also seen a steady decline in the last 2.5 months, and it has witnessed good amount of corrective action. Even post the NTPC green listing also, the stock has not seen some amount of flare, but it is at multi-month support area, so we can continue to hold on, and as the view is for 3 to 5 years, it will make good amount of money into the stock.
Manish, is that a thought that you share?
Yeah, I think it's a hold for me as well from a fundamental perspective. I think this is the largest power generation company in India, and with the kind of commissioning which is going to happen in the next few years, I feel the company is poised to grow its earnings in future as well. Also, the whole power sector has somehow become the focal point of the government as well, with the kind of economic growth which the government is forecasting in going ahead. So I think the right company in the right sector. So I feel NTPC from a longer term perspective, I think it's a hold.
All right. Now we're also getting a caller from Gwalior. Hi, Jai Kishan.
Madam, namaskar, good evening.
Good evening. So what is your query about? How can we help you?
मैडम मैंने ना 500 शेयर लिए टॉपर स्टॉक के 700 रुपए में.
अच्छा.
उसमें तो बहुत लॉस हो रहा है, क्या करें इसमें?
तो आपने कब खरीदे जय किशन शॉपर स्टॉक के?
मुझे हो गए 2-3 महीने हो गए.
2-3 महीने हो गए. और क्या रीजन था आपका इसको खरीदने से पहले?
जी बिजनेस देख रहा था तो उसने रिकमेंड किया था.
अच्छा, ठीक है. सो a viewer is asking for a short-term perspective on shopper stop. So, Vikas, if you could take that one.
Yeah, sure. So if you look at Super Stop has seen some amount of block deal volumes, and then the stock has witnessed some amount of up move. So it has bombed a good for bottom half formation near to those 585, 570 odd levels, and witnessing some amount of up move. So if it sustains, then it can move higher further to 720, 730 odd levels. So we can continue to hold on to his position. If you want to keep a stop, he can keep a stop of around 575, 580, which is the recent low.
All right. We're also getting one more caller from Thane. Hi, Om.
Hello. Yeah, I actually wanted to know about Medi Assist and SG Mart.
SG Mart. I'm afraid that we can only take one query at a time. So
Okay.
I'd like
Can
to
you
take
tell about
SG Mart.
SG Mart?
Yeah. All right. So, so how many stocks have you bought?
I was actually looking to buy it.
Okay, you're looking to buy. So you're wanting
Yeah,
to
for
know a
5
long-term
years.
perspective on SG Mart or a short-term?
Long term, 5 to 10 years.
5 to 10 years?
Yeah.
Okay. So on this, Manish, I'd come straight to you. How is SG Mart performing according to you? How are the fundamentals of the company looking like?
I think SG Mart is a proxy play for the whole real estate this sector. But the kind of margins and the kind of profitability, I'm not comfortable putting my money into SG Mart from a longer term perspective. I believe that if someone wants to play the real estate story, I think it's better to play the building material theme. And I think from that space, I think Astral looks good to me from a 2 to 3 year perspective. I feel that's a more reasonable proxy play to the real estate story. Yeah.
All right. We've got another caller joining in from Chennai. Hi, Vijay.
Yes, madam.
So go ahead. What is it that you're looking for? I understand you have a query about Force Motors. Please tell us more. Can you hear me, Vijay?
Force Motors, madam. I have a query for Force Motors.
Okay. And give us more details about how many shares you hold.
I am holding on more Force Motors of 100 shares at the rate of 9,800.
And when did you buy them?
There is no, I wanted to hold it. I want to know the company fundamentals, madam.
Okay, so you want a general perspective on it. Manish, would you like to take this one? He's holding 100 shares of Force Motors. Wants to know, should he hold or sell them?
I think Force Motor, I think, is a hold for me. I think the kind of turnaround in terms of profitability the company has shown in the last 3 years or so, I think it's a hold. And I think going forward, the whole the CV space and the LCV space, I think with the logistics in India expected to do well, I think this whole space should gain traction, and Force Motors could be one of the key beneficiary of this. So yes, from a 2 to 3 years perspective, I think it's a hold for me.
Okay, and Vikas, quickly, any other stocks that you recommend in this space? As Manish was pointing out, that this is a good space to be investing in.
Yes, so if you look at the whole automotive sector has declined in the range of around index itself 15 to 18%. In terms of Force Motors, this stock has declined 35, 38%. From the whole space, Tata Motors looks interesting. The stock is almost near to multi-month support area. Plus, the demerger is also expected, so you do have some amount of value unlocking. So, from this space, Tata Motors looks interesting at this level if he wants to switch from Force Motors to Tata Motors.
All right. We're also getting a caller from Pune now. Hi, Amit. How can we help you? Amit, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead with your query.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, I have around 1,777 shares for SBI, which I bought last week, and then after it is getting down every day. So I just wanted to know what should I do next, because I have a loss around 70,000 now. I have bought around 456. And now I think today is 818, something like that.
All right. So you're asking for a short-term view on it?
Yeah, because at least I can come up after this loss and then maybe I can change my portfolio. But right now I have around 16 lakhs invested in SBI.
All right. So Vikas, coming straight to you on this one, how is SBI looking on the charts?
It's been trading flat over the last few days. No doubt some profit booking has been witnessed from the higher part of the range. The stock has really outperformed. If we year till date, the stock has gained by more than 22% and now trading almost 3 to 4% away from its all-time high. So we can keep a stop of around 795 or 800 at current levels and continue to hold on.
Okay.
So it's a hold for you, right? Okay. So that's a hold. Yeah. Let's go across now to Chakri. He's joining in from Bangalore. Hi, how are you doing this evening?
Yeah, I'm doing good, ma'am. Thanks for asking. Ma'am, I have a doubt regarding Akums Drugs. I have bought around like 150 shares at 630 price. I have some doubt like I need to add some more shares or hold with this.
And when did you buy this and what was the thought process behind buying it?
I bought around like 20 days before. The thing here is it is like largest CDMO player as well as it has more context over Europe region and its like valuations are good to see and it has fallen from 52-week high almost 50%. So I thought it was a good price to enter.
Okay, that's a logical thought process. Manish, to you first. He wants to know should he buy more, hold or sell, and he of course has entered thinking perhaps looking at a more long-termish view.
I think in the CDMO space, I think the overall market is huge, but I think Akums Drug, my suggestion is that it is an avoid at this point in time. I think there are better stocks in the overall pharma space to play at this point in time, which has shown performance in the past. Amongst that, the stock which comes to my mind, I think is one is Mankind Pharma. That looks very good to me. And another is, I think, Cipla, which also looks a proper play on both the US side and the India side as well. So I think in the pharma space, it's better to avoid Akums at this point in time.
Okay. Just a quick reminder again, viewers, don't forget to call us on the numbers on your screen. We'll be taking your questions live. And before we go to another caller, just let's quickly take in a WhatsApp query that we got earlier. This is D. Mazumdar, written to us from Odisha. He wants to know more about Andhra Sugar. He's bought 1,000 shares at 176 rupees a piece and wants to understand whether he should be holding or selling in loss, and also wants an alternative investment option. So that's a smart column, WhatsApp query we've got. Vikas, your thought? He's obviously looking for a short-term view.
The short-term view continues to remain bearish. The stock has almost declined by more than 50%. And in usually sugar space, the company continues, there are a few companies which have created some amount of wealth for the investors. So it's better to exit the stock and reinvest the proceeds into something else. So maybe a private banking stock or an automobile stock would be more comfortable, where it would make some amount of returns.
All right. Any particular one that you recommend in this space?
So from the private banking space, ICICI Bank stroke Axis Bank looks attractive among the large cap side. Among the mid cap private banking space, RBL Bank or IDFC Bank would be a better option.
All right, gentlemen, we are also getting a caller from Pune now. Hi, Kumar.
Hi.
Hello. Thanks for speaking to NDTV Profit. How can we help you?
Ma'am, I have NFL share at the price of 107.
Okay.
So shall I buy, sell it or hold it?
Okay, so you're asking for a short-term view or a long-term view on National Fertilizer?
As a long-term view.
Long-term view. So Manish, coming straight to you on this, how is the stock looking like? What's the performance of National Fertilizer according to you?
I think the overall fertilizer space, I think, hasn't made a huge amount of money for investors in the past as well. A lot of government regulation overhang always remains on this sector. So I think it's better to avoid fertilizer stocks from a longer term perspective and move that money to some other sectors. I think the preferable sector for me at this point in time would be the larger private banking space, and in that, I think ICICI Bank and other would be the cement sector as well. I think it's better to avoid fertilizer from a longer term perspective.
All right, thanks for that. Now, we'll have to slip into a short break. Keep sending in your queries on WhatsApp and call in. We'll be right back for Ask Profit. Stay tuned to NDTV Profit.
Neeraj, by the way, let me compliment you and your channel. I find very insightful discussions. Even, if I have to know more about India, those are the discussions I hear, right? So kudos to you, Tamanna and Samina. I found it very, very insightful all the time.
We set you up for the day's trade. 30 calls before the markets open on NDTV Profit.
Jubilant Food above a 600 level on Friday.
Wipro can be first trade to buy
all commodities, but in that Vedanta looks good.
Our experts give you the top stock ideas to prepare you for the day.
ICICI Lombard stocks hit the first target. It has given a very good momentum with good volume.
Don't miss the chance to make the right moves. Only on NDTV Profit, where winners are made before the bell rings.
When the whole day passes like a blur, the news just whizzes past, and you're trying to stay informed. It is our job to bring you news that truly matters. At Profit 360, we cut through the clutter, the long street deals, finance and policy news that could shape your tomorrow. The newsmakers, the trendsetters, and the innovators. In 30 minutes, we've got you covered. So stay ahead, stay informed, and stay profitable with Profit 360.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
When the whole day passes like a blur, the news just whizzes past, and you're trying to stay informed. It is our job to bring you news that truly matters. At Profit 360, we cut through the clutter, the long street deals, finance and policy news that could shape your tomorrow. The newsmakers, the trendsetters, and the innovators. In 30 minutes, we've got you covered. So stay ahead, stay informed, and stay profitable with Profit.
Authorities on the technicals. So, viewers, we are getting a caller now from Vizag. Hi, Naveen.
Hi.
Hello, thanks for speaking to NDTV Profit. How can we help you?
I have 510 shares of Swiggy at 405 rupees.
Okay.
And I just want to understand the long-term view. Matlab, I want to hold it for more than 5 years, in fact.
Okay, and when did you buy Swiggy?
Recently, in the IPO, I got few lots, and then later I got a few others, some shares also. So average price is around 405 rupees it is currently.
All right. So, Manish, I'm coming straight to you on this one. Earlier, we had taken Zomato. Now it's Swiggy. So, how is Swiggy looking like according to you?
I think Swiggy has still a lot of time to prove its mettle, especially in terms of profitability. I think we are still at least a few quarters away from the profitability side. And I think if I compare Zomato and Swiggy on a peer-to-peer basis, I think on the food delivery side, I think both are almost I would say they run on the same neck to neck only. But when it comes to the food, the fast delivery side, I think Zomato is much ahead with the Blinkit. I think Swiggy has a very huge ambition of adding around 500 dark stores. But I think Zomato has shown in the last 2 years the kind of execution on ground in terms of Blinkit. Also, Zomato has other businesses like Hyperpure and the recently acquired ticketing businesses, which would add to the top line going ahead. So if I want to choose between Zomato and Swiggy, I believe that it is better to exit Swiggy and enter into Zomato. Yeah.
Okay. We've got another caller joining us from Noida. Hi, Anmol. Anmol, can you hear me?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. So, Anmol, I believe your question is about Mphasis. Go ahead, ask away.
Right. So I just wanted to know, like, what is the right entry point to the Mphasis for a short-term point of view? Shall I enter at 2950 around, or I should wait to correct to somewhere around 2800?
And what is the kind of investment that you're looking at?
So I'm looking for around 3 to 6 months around.
Okay.
Time horizon. Yeah.
All right. Vikas, would you like to take that one? Mphasis is the share that he wants to enter into, has a short-term horizon, but wants to know if this is the right time to enter it.
So yes, got it right. We should wait for the start, because if you look at it, has made multiple tops near to those 3150, 3200 levels, and the stock can touch the lower band of 2750, 2800. So another 3 to 5% decline into the stock into 2750, 2800 should be the ideal price to buy into the stock.
All right. We're also getting a caller from Gurgaon now. Hi, Vikas.
Hi. Good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for speaking to NDTV Profit. How can we help you?
Yeah, good. Thank you so much for the call. I just got this allotment of NTPC Green, some 2,200 odd share around the IPO.
All right.
Just wanted to have a long-term view. Should I hold it? Should I sell a part of it, or how to go about it?
All right. As I can see that NTPC has been performing well. If we can just pull up the charts there. Yes, it was up almost 2% today. So yeah, Manish, if I could just come to you on this, how are the fundamentals of NTPC Green looking to you?
I think NTPC Green has been recently listed, and it's has around 1 lakh crore market cap at this point in time. If I talk about the fundamentals, I feel the renewable space has a very long runway for growth, especially with the kind of government focus towards the renewable space. Also, the execution time to commission the project in the renewable space, along with the cost of production for all these companies, I think it's very low as compared to thermal. So I feel most of the companies have their hands full in terms of renewable order book, and I think execution and the commissioning going ahead would be very good, which should flow into the earnings as well. So if someone has a longer term perspective, I feel NTPC Green is a hold for me.
Okay, we've got a caller calling in from Himachal Pradesh. Hi Paramjeet, where exactly in Himachal are you calling us from?
Dharamsala. Good evening.
Good evening. So tell us what you want to know.
I want Manish's view on Motilal Oswal Finance Services. Fundamental view from Manish.
Okay, and give us a bit more details about how many shares are you holding, what's the time period?
2,000 shares at the rate of 600 for long term.
Okay, Manish, he seems pretty clear on the kind of view that he's looking at. He wants a fundamental look at Motilal Oswal.
I think all the broking companies since COVID has performed fantastically well with the kind of retail participation going into the equity markets. And if you see the profitability of Motilal Oswal, I think it has continuously on an uptrend. And I feel going ahead, I think this penetration of equity markets into the retail side should grow from here on as well. So I feel the earnings trajectory for Motilal Oswal as well as other broking firms should improve. The only point of contention at this point in time in the overall broking industry is with the kind of tightness SEBI has bought in to protect the retail investors from FNO. I think that pie of revenue is a little taken away from these broking companies. But I feel the other segments of the various broking houses are still intact. And I feel if someone has a longer perspective, I think it's a hold for me.
Okay, so that's a hold on Motilal Oswal for long term. I think our callers have picked up the momentum. We are also getting now a call from Delhi. Hi, M. Das Gupta.
Ma'am.
Yes,
hello, good
please.
Evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Please go ahead with your query.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank the NDTV Profit channel for giving such good insights into the stock market.
I'm glad we are being helpful to us.
My query is, though I have 2-3 queries, but I'll stick to one query as advised.
Yes.
I am holding Tata Power.
All right.
Purchased at an average price of 252.
Okay.
136 shares, average price of 252.
All right.
So I can hold it for around 2-3 years long term.
Okay.
So what is the outlook of the stock in the future, and when I can re-enter this particular stock again? I want to purchase more. So what is the correct share price to enter?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So Manish, I'll come straight to you on this. So how is the fundamentals of Tata Power looking like?
I think Tata Power, I think around 65% of the overall generation comes from thermal, and the rest of it comes from the renewable space. And in the last few years, the share of renewable space for almost all the power companies is on a uptrend. Again, as I said earlier, the execution time for commissioning of a renewable project and the cost of electricity when you produce through renewable is much lower than other conventional sources. So I think all this eventually flows into the bottom line. Also, Tata Power is also into the solar rooftop, which the government has recently launched the project, and it is also targeting around 1 lakh EV charging stations all over India. So I think it is not only present in the power generation, it is also into the other value chain of the power industry. So if someone has a 1 to 2 year perspective at these levels, I think it's a hold for me.
And also, our viewer was asking if he wants to buy more. So can he enter at this particular time as well?
Yeah. I think if someone wants to further add on, I think these are the levels one can look to add at these prices as well.
All right. And Vikas, if I can just quickly take your view on Tata Power. How is Tata Power looking on the charts for short term?
We can add in at the current levels because it has been trading in a particular band. 375, 380 is a good price point to enter into. So just 3 to 4% away from its current price. So we can add in at current levels.
Okay, let's go across now to Noel. He's calling in from Kerala. Hi, Noel. Where in Kerala are you calling from? And how's your day been so far?
Hello.
Hello, Noel. Can you hear me?
I'm currently looking for a view on Angel. Currently, I'm holding the price of 8,056 rupees. Shall I hold it or exit the stock?
Okay. Vikas, would you like to take this one? He's holding 3,066 shares at, I beg your pardon, he's holding 105 shares at 3,066. He's looking for a short-term view.
The stock has seen good amount of traction post the inclusion into the F&O space. It has made a top near to those 3350, 3400 levels, and now in the corrective phase. Some short covering cannot be ruled out within this expiry week, and plus it is at good support near to 27, 20, 30. So he can hold on to the stock. If he wants to keep a stop, he can keep a stop near to 2720, which is the band of averages. And on the higher side, it can move higher near to those 3050 to 3100 levels.
Okay, we're also getting one call from Trivandrum. Hi, Balchandran. Balchandran, am I audible? Okay, I am afraid that we've lost touch with Balchandran, but we have his query. He has bought 18,000 shares of Vodafone Idea at 11.60, and he's asking whether he should sell or buy. So I'd like to take both the short-term and long-term view on Vodafone Idea, starting with you, Vikas. How is it looking on the charts?
In charts perspective, it had a vertical fall from the highs of 17, 18, now consolidating between 7.5 to 8.5 for the last few months. We can continue to hold on at this level because we have not seen any major crackdown from this price. So the stock on the higher side can made an attempt to retest near those 9.5 to 10. So we can hold on to these investments.
All right, and if, the long-term view on it, Manish, what do you have to say on it?
I think fundamentally in the overall telecom space, I feel Vodafone is the weakest amongst the three, which is Airtel, Jio, and Vodafone. So I think Vodafone is continuously losing market share to its bigger rivals. Also, the ARPU of Vodafone as compared to other telecom players is the lowest. And with the kind of gross debt which the company has, which exceeds around 2 lakh crores, I think on the operational front as well, with the recent infusion, I think there is still a lot of road to go. So I think from a longer term perspective also, I would avoid Vodafone, and my view would be sell.
Okay, let's go across to Bangalore now, and we've got Sachin joining us from there. Hi Sachin, can you hear me?
Yes madam, yes madam.
Okay, please go ahead with what you want to know.
Adani Green sir, what about that in short term I have purchased 78 shares of 1201 rupees.
Okay, and did you, when did you buy them, and are you looking at a 2 to 3 month perspective, or is it even shorter than that?
Short term madam.
Okay. So let's go across to Vikas on this one. He's bought 78 shares and he wants to know if he should be holding them on selling them. Adani Green.
We can continue to hold on. The stock has been added into the inclusion in the F&O basket. So some amount of volatility had been witnessed, and now it has been in a corrective action. But we believe it has multiple band of support near to those 980,000 odd levels. And on the higher side, once it crosses 1085, 1090, it would give a sustained amount of breakout to 1250 odd levels. So we can continue to hold on to the stock.
All right, and we'd just like to tell our viewers that NDTV is a subsidiary of AMG Media Networks Limited, an Adani Group company. That's our disclaimer coming in there. And we've got Deepak calling in from Delhi. Hi, Deepak. Is it really cold in Delhi?
Hi, good evening, ma'am. Hello.
Hi. Is it really cold in Delhi?
मैम मैं एक गोदरेज कंज्यूमर्स के बारे में पूछना चाहता हूँ। ये 70 शेयर्स हैं, 1332 पे है, तो लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए इन्वेस्टमेंट है, होल्ड करूँ, एवरेज करूँ और सेल करूँ।
और आपने कब खरीदे थे और क्या सोच के खरीदे थे?
ये तो मैम लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए लिए हैं और एक्सपर्ट्स के उससे सोच के लिए हैं कि भाई लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए।
Okay. Manish, would you like to take this one? He wants to know about Godrej Consumers.
I think Godrej Consumer has recently came out with a business update where I think the update was weak and the stock fell from highs. At the current juncture, I feel in the overall FMCG space, there is more pain related to the consumption on the urban side. I feel at this point in time, I would not stick my neck out for Godrej Consumers and at least wait for few quarters of sustained volume growth. If someone wants to stick to the FMCG space only, then I feel HUL at the current valuation looks much lucrative than Godrej Consumer, and I feel it's better to exit Godrej Consumer and move into HUL because the kind of brand recall, the kind of products, the kind of innovation it has done, I think it would be the first play, the first catch-up play in the overall FMCG space, and the valuation also currently looks very attractive. Yeah.
All right, we're also getting one caller from Pune. Hi, Pradeep.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening. Please go ahead with your query.
So I have 10,000 shares of Vedanta at the price of 300 rupees per share.
All right.
So my query is whether I should be in stock until demerger or I should book some profit.
Okay, so you're looking for a short-term view on it. Am I right?
I'm looking for a long-term view actually.
Long-term view on it. Okay, so Manish, coming straight to you. How is Vedanta performing according to you?
I think Vedanta, with the kind of demerger that is going to happen in future, I think if someone is holding Vedanta, I think they should continue to hold, because I think a lot of value unlocking would happen when Vedanta splits into various businesses. And with the kind of dividend it has paid in the past, I think Vedanta, from a longer term perspective, is a hold for me. Yeah.
Okay. I think we've got another WhatsApp query that we're going to be taking up next. This one is coming in from Tamil Nadu, from Raja Singh. He's holding about 1,500 shares at 465 rupees a piece. He wants to know the future outlook. He's not really talked about whether it's a long-term one or a short-term one. So let's go across to Vikas on this one. Vikas, how the chart's looking like for Apollo Tyres?
Chart looks pretty interesting. It has been outperforming into broader weaker markets. If you look at the past 2 months where the markets have declined 6-7%, the stock has gained more than 7 to 10%. So it looks pretty interesting. He can continue to hold on. On the higher side, it can achieve a potential target of around 550, 570 on an immediate basis. And if that is being crossed, then we could move further higher to 595.
All right, now we are getting one WhatsApp query now from Raghuram. He's writing from Bhubaneswar. He says that he's bought 1,000 shares of Sagility India at 35 a piece. He's asking for a short-term view on it, but Sagility, as we all know, that has been recently listed. So Manish, how do you see Sagility performing in the future? Whether the investor should buy or hold or sell?
I think it's a hold for me. I think the kind of business focus it has in the overall healthcare space, and which is mainly focused in the US, I think from a longer term perspective, it's a hold for me. Yes, the numbers still needs to show some traction, but my sense is that going ahead in the next few quarters, you would also see an uptick in earnings from Sagility India. So yes, from a 1 year perspective, it's a hold.
Okay, Vikas, since the query was about the short term, so if you can quickly summarize your observations from the charts.
If you look at post the listing, the stock remained flat, but from there on, the stock has gained pretty prominence and gained more than 50% from the lows of 28, 29 to 45, 46. So we can put some amount of partial profits and trail the stop loss to 42.50 at some current levels.
All right, let's quickly go across to another caller. I'm afraid we're running out of time, but we will try and take as many. So if you're still waiting to call us, do it right away. Ankit is calling in from Raigarh. Hi, Ankit.
Hello, ma'am.
Please go ahead with what you'd like to know from our experts.
Actually, ma'am, I have 68 shares of Kaynes Tech at the rate of 4,100, ma'am.
Okay, and what was the thought process behind buying it, and what sort of a time frame are you looking at?
Actually, I have held this share for ma'am long term, ma'am. So I wanted to know from experts that what is the current current price at which I can re-enter this stock, ma'am. I want to add more of this stock, ma'am.
Okay, Vikas, would you like to take that one quickly? He wants to re-enter it.
Yeah, sure. So we can continue to hold on because it has done pretty fairly from his investment point of view also, and continuously the company is doing pretty well, still in new 52-week highs. As he wants to enter fresh, he could please look at some amount of retracement near to those 6850 to 6900 levels, which is the short-term averages. So some amount of broader corrective market action could penetrate into it. So 6850 to 6900 would be a good entry point.
Okay, we are getting one more caller from New Delhi now. MK Malhotra is calling us. Hi, Mr. Malhotra.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Please go ahead with your query.
Yeah, I bought 77,000 shares of Suzlon Energy entered at 7 to 10 rupees and booked profit at around 55, 56 rupees. Now entered again, bought 75,000 shares at 75 around. What is the long-term view for this? I want to know that.
All right. So Manish, can you please take that up? How has Suzlon Energy been performing so far, and what's the long-term view on it?
I think Suzlon in the wind energy space is one of the bigger names in the wind energy space. I think it's a complete turnaround story in terms of the debt structuring it has done. So I think currently debt on the books is negligible, and that is also showing now in the earnings, and the order book for Suzlon remains very strong. From here on, I think the primary driver for Suzlon would be the execution of the order book, and if it executes the order book on time, I think we should see an uptick in earnings growth as well. So if someone has a longer term perspective, I feel it's a hold for me.
Okay, let's quickly take in a WhatsApp query right now, and we are getting one from Bhuj, I think. Kantilal ji has written in to us and wants to know about Allcargo Logistics. Bought about 650 shares at 67.29. He wants to know, should he hold or sell? So, Vikas, quickly, what's your sense?
Well, the stock has not done anything great. He can exit if he wishes to so, because if you look at the structure continues to remain pretty weak and now trading at multi-month low, almost near to 52-week lows. So the stock, if it breaks near to those 46, 47, it can decline further. So it's better to exit the stock and reinvest the same into some other stock.
Okay, I'm afraid we are getting a lot of queries right now. We're getting one call from Pune. Hi, Ranjit.
Yeah, hi, this is Ranjit calling from Pune.
Yes.
I'm holding 550 shares of IndusInd Bank, bought at me at 12.50.
All right.
So I just want to know a long-term point of view, how it will be performing in 1 year timeline.
Okay, Manish, so quickly, if you could tell the long-term perspective on IndusInd Bank, what do you have to say on it?
I think it is better to exit in IndusInd at this point in time, and if someone has a 1 year perspective, I feel ICICI Bank and SBI looks good to me. I think the kind of provisions which IndusInd Bank has done in the last quarter, I think the market sense is that it is better, I think, at this point in time to avoid that and move into something like ICICI and SBI.
Okay, Mr. Dasgupta calling in from Delhi, I think. Good evening, how are you?
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. I'm fine, ma'am. Good evening.
Yes, please tell us what you'd like to know.
Yeah, my query is, I am holding Indian Oil, IOC. IOC, 427 shares, purchased at ₹98 average price.
And what is the holding period that you're looking at?
Yeah, I can hold it for another 2 to 3 years. Long term, what is the prospect of the share going ahead, and can I buy more, because it's a good dividend yield share, and I have not sold it since I purchased.
And when did you purchase it?
I don't know, because it's 3-4 years accumulating, minimum 3 years.
Okay, Manish, would you
long term perspective?
Yeah, Manish, would you like to take this one?
I think Indian Oil, I think from a 3-4 year perspective, the guest is asking, I think it's a hold with the kind of dividend yield which the company is paying, and the kind of the earnings which the company has shown in the past, I think it's a hold for me. The only thing to look into IOC is the petrol and the diesel prices, which in short are not deregulated to the truest sense. So with the kind of volatility which happens in the crude oil prices, I think these companies are not the direct beneficiaries of the volatility in prices. So I think that point only needs to be taken care of. From a fundamental perspective, I think it's a hold for me.
All right. Well, we are completely out of time, and we'd like to thank both Vikas and Manish for taking out the time to be with us. Thank you very much. Appreciate you joining us on Ask Profit.
Thank you.
Well, in fact, that's a wrap on Ask Profit. Thank you for joining in, but do stay with us on NDTV Profit as we bring you more.
Neeraj, by the way, let me compliment you and your channel. I find very insightful discussions. Even, if I have to know more about India, those are the discussions I hear, right? So kudos to you, Tamanna and Samina. I found it very, very insightful all the time.
We set you up for the day's trade. 30 calls before the markets open on NDTV Profit.
Jubilant food above a 600 level on Friday.
Wipro can be first trade to buy
all commodities, but in that Vedanta looks good.
Our experts give you the top stock ideas to prepare you for the day.
ICICI Lombard stocks hit the first target. It has given a very good momentum with good volume.
Don't miss the chance to make the right moves. Only on NDTV Profit, where winners are made before the bell rings.
When the whole day passes like a blur, the news just whizzes past, and you're trying to stay informed